uh, this girl, 2 months ago in New York, United Nations Action Summit. You know, United Nations conduct a lot of summits. So this is the Action Summit, first time. Because they have been only talking, but not acting. So this is the girl who is telling to the leaders, you destroyed our future. You are the reason why this world is being destroyed. This is a time to talk about saving soil, water, life. There is issue of water, extinction of species, loss of biodiversity, waste. There is global warming, climate change. All those stuff is desertification in India. What you talk about is only production, distribution, markets. Markets. You are concerned about only taking more resources from the earth. Already you have exploited. You are destroying our future. Shame on you. And you are not taking responsibility. This is our future we are talking about. Actually, you should really stand up. That is why I came here to instigate you. Instigate you. This is your future, your life that we destroy. The people you are looking at, I am not a good person at all. From 1850 onwards, 1850 Industrial Revolution, then came Green Revolution in 1960s. These two revolutions have destroyed everything on the planet. So don't think your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, 150 years ago, they are not good people at all. We are the evil. You are looking at an evil person. Rayappa is not a good person. Evil. Because we didn't question, we didn't examine the information what we have received from the previous generation. If we have examined, we would have rejected. And we would have found a better way, sustainable way. But nobody questioned, nobody examined. So in that way, you should never forgive your ancestors, at least for the past 150 years. Before that, they were okay. But this generation, that is what this girl, Greta, is telling. Such a courageous girl from Sweden. She traveled all the way. The school children collected money. She traveled to New York to talk about your future. So she represents, let us say, from YCS and YSL. All right? Are you going to listen? So very important. It should instigate you. It should really, really inspire you. Okay, guys? Everything, even including United Nations, all the structures of the world, religions, you have failed us. That is what she is criticizing, and she is really denouncing every structure. And I am asking you, are you going to fail us too? That is the question. I am asking each and every one of the YCS and YSM students present here. If you are going to fail us, there is no difference between your generation and my generation. Shame on you too. She told, shame on us. You know what? Our generation ran out of ideas. We don't know how to lead you. We are in a dead end. We are empty. There is a pit there. We are going to fall inside and we want to take you there. I need to tell you, don't follow us. No industrial revolution, no agricultural revolution, no green revolution. They are not going to save you. They are not going to develop your life. They are going to destroy your future. So wake up. And we have been leading you like this. You are going to lead us now. You are going to lead. You must have seen one picture of Mahatma Gandhi. One small little kid. You know, everybody knows that picture. You know, Mahatma Gandhi has a small stick there, no? The small little kid pulling the stick pulling the Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi is standing like this old man, no? Did you see that picture? If you didn't see it this afternoon, I will download and show you. That is symbolically, you young people should leave this old fools. I am humble enough to admit we are fools. Because we didn't ask we didn't examine the information what has been handed to us. We failed to examine. Any unexamined information is dangerous. Dangerous. And we are passing that information to you. Only. So this is the last generation at least to examine what has been received. In the history, only 3 people examined: Jesus, Mahavira, Buddha, Zoroaster. The modern times, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, all these people examined the information. That's why Jesus was killed. It's risk. Pope Francis is going to ask you to become ruckus. Ruckus. Make a ruckus. What is a ruckus means? Commotion, controversy, risk. He's asking you to create trouble. Trouble. You are prone to trouble, I know that. Every one of you is prone to trouble. Today you are sitting very compassion-filled. You all look like little angels. But you can be very dangerous too. Yeah? As individuals, you are all angels. As groups, you all become devils. Devils. Little devils. It's all right. You be naughty, you should enjoy. You should be mischievous at the same time. Know that. I accept it. So, but anyway, make a ruckus. Pope Francis. Christus vivit. That is the love letter Pope Francis has written to you, to the young people. Pope Francis, beautiful letter. You should read that. In internet, you go to the evening, just type Christus vivit. See there? That means Christ lives in you. That is the Latin word. Christus vivit. Alright? You type that in Google search and enter at the Vatican website will open. The document will be there, PDF file. Click it, it will come to your computer. It's in English. That's title only in Latin. Christ lives in you. Christ lives. So, in that is writing make a ruckus. So, in other words, I will explain it to you. Can somebody help me to advance the slide? Next slide. Anybody is there? Boy or anybody? One person sit down there and you just pass the Christ is alive and he wants you to be alive. In the same document, Christ lives in you. In every generation, in every religion, I was so happy to see the parts of the thing you read in the beginning, Bible, Bhagavad Gita, Quran. Excellent. That is integral. That is the dialogue we should make. Today we shouldn't go only one religion, this is mine. No, no, no. That happened 2,500 years ago. That was the birth of Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, Christianity, Islam. All went their own way. Diversification of religion, but now unification. You bring all that experience to share, to unify, to dialogue, to solve the present day problems. You understand me? So we are coming together. Christ is alive and he wants you to be alive. Next. You know, Jesus beautifully is said in the Bible. Jesus, Luke chapter 12, 49. I have come to set the world on fire. And I wish it were already burning. That is the energy what you have. Feel like setting everything on fire means everything on creation mode. Fire means purifies, creates. and burns the evil, takes off the dirt. The fire has the cleaning quality. You understand that? Your fire is excellent, youth. You have more fire. You have more energy than any one of us. So I think Jesus, he was a young man. When he died, he was 33 years old. Young man. He is eternally young. So I have come to set the world on fire. You need to purify. See, so many problems. You are going to identify some of the problems. I'm going to leave you 10-15 minutes to discuss about all problems we are facing in our common home and how we are going to clean it up, how we are going to burn them. Okay, next. See, Matthew, take my yoke upon me and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. You know the Greta was telling about technology? Was she mad about it? You see, what you want is technology. What you want is economic growth. What you want is production. The politics wants only this destruction. Technology and economic growth. So, what she wants is, come on, why can't you think about the future generation? Why can't you recharge the ecosystems, build biological wealth? That means preserve nature, conservation. That is the thing she's talking about. Protect everything, soil, water, air. So, how do you go to protect soil and water? Even human beings you are unable to protect. Human beings, we fight and we kill each other. Then what about snake? What about mosquito? What about lizard? What about soil and water? You can't really save everything if you are standing as business usual. She was talking about business as usual, no Greta? She told, how can you dare to do the business as usual? That means normal life. What your great-grandfather did 150 years ago, industrial revolution mindset, agricultural revolution and green revolution mindset. That's called business as usual. That means high consumption, high energy consumption, carbon footprint, heavy, all those stuff, money making, profit making, business as usual. So now, with the compassion, you are not going to make much difference. You are going to go with business as usual, only showing compassion to some people, not for other parts of the world. But you put empathy, humility. These are the two things what the Bible is talking about, Quran is talking about, even Bhagavad Gita is talking about. All the holy books talk about empathy and humility. Our species doesn't have humility. That is the biggest problem. So you children, you get a big degree that you see big head. You shall never be having this kind of business as usual hubris. That means pride. Actually, your pride is empathy. When you keep empathy, everything comes to light. So you feel to observe everything. That is the awakening. That is the awakening you can have. New doors and windows for you. When you see with empathy, what is empathy? I already explained, to the non-living parts also. When somebody is pounding a rock, some children will cry. That is empathy. Some children will cry. When somebody kills even a poisonous snake, some children will cry. Why should I do that? That is empathy. When a small plant is withering, some children will go and give water. You must have seen some frog dead. Some children will go and try to revive it, isn't it? Give water. That is empathy. And some children cry when they look at the soil, when they put chemicals. Some of them, why do you do that poisoning the soil? Why? When you spit on soil, why? Some people question today. So empathy is not being born. The YCS and YSM, these youngsters, if you do business as usual, compassion, those kind of ideas, we are not going to change. You have to go to the Jesus mindset, empathy and humility. First of all, you should be humble. That is the beauty of human species. Arrogance is not, pride is not our human marker. Human marker is humility and empathy. That's why God has created us. So empathy is the defining moment. That is what Greta is telling. Next. See, Dalai Lama is putting so beautifully, when educating the minds of our youth, we must not forget to educate their hearts as well. Because that is where you find resources. When you put empathy, you will not exploit anything. You will not destroy soil, anything. You will not go and dig more resources. You will dig your own resources from your heart. That is what educating the heart. Resources, gold, silver, GDP, all those good stuff, economic growth, they are not outside in the planet Earth. Everything is within you, within your heart. Don't look at the outside ecosystems for resources. That is the business as usual. But today, we look inside our heart. Look at the gold you have. You have kindness. Look at the silver, tenderness. We are talking about tenderness, compassion, love. At last, empathy, sacrifice, sharing. Come on, tell me what resources you have deep within you. Come on. I gave you examples. Quick, little discussion, 2-3 minutes. What kind of resources you have inside? Love. Tolerance. Patience. Yeah, you're coming, yeah? Huh? Sympathy. Yeah. Ego is also a resource, but you should not become a victim of ego. But you should suppress ego. That's right, because we have been discussing only good stuff, as if we are angels. But you brought my attention to reality. Father, not only that, we also have greed, ego, violence. Good for you. Excellent, excellent. Both of them we have. But we need to bring out good, positive stuff, denouncing negative stuff. Then what good stuff you have? Huh? Gratitude, yeah. Then? Sacrifice, yeah. Generosity. Huh? Humbleness, that means humility. Faithfulness. Responsibility. Accountability. Yay. The important things you didn't tell me here. The important stuff you didn't tell me here. Justice. Righteousness. Moral values. Morality. Ethics. This is human markers. And then everything is within you. Then tell me, what else you have? Enough. I have enough. I don't need anything. Huh? Satisfaction. And happiness, you forgot. Happiness. Where is happiness? In the cell phone, or in the computer, or in the theater? Where is happiness? Above happiness, there is one more beautiful thing is there. What is that? There's the difference between happiness and joy. Yeah. There's a big difference between happiness and joy. Happiness means when you buy a new cell phone, you feel happy. I come and steal the cell phone. What will happen? You will feel sad, cry. Very sad, depressed. But joy doesn't come in cell phone. The science and technology, economic growth, you don't find joy. Only happiness. But the joy comes from sharing your own resources. That is joy. You know what? When the sunset is happening, when you look at the sunset in the evening, that is joy. When you see a baby smiling, that is joy. When you close your cell phone and when you look at real lake, that is a joy. Everything, even a train in today's modern generation, everybody is having one cell phone. Hey, look at the lake, how beautiful it is. Everybody looking at the cell phone, but the lake is passing outside. Big lake. Look at the mountain, look at the mountain. The big mountain is passing outside. You know what? The lucky people are those who did not buy cell phones because they are having joy. The unfortunate people, those who bought this technology, because you are limiting your happiness just in your hand. There's a big difference between experiencing something and knowing about something. That's a big difference. That is experience. Joy is experience. Happiness is only a theory. You understand me? So that is what Dalai Lama is telling. You go inside and find out and share with the planet Earth. Don't try to dig more stuff from the planet, but you dig from inside of your heart. Next. Look at this. Mahatma Gandhi talked about three. Children are going somewhere. Huh? All right. Mahatma Gandhi is talking about three things. If you understand this way, I think this is a foundation for voices and voices. We have forgotten Mahatma Gandhian concepts. Swaraj, Swadeshi, Sarvodaya. What is a Swaraj? It's a self-rule. Just I told you now, she told Swaraj means our inner resources. There are two self-rules. One is inner rule, outer rule. Yeah. Inner Swaraj, outer Swaraj. If your inner Swaraj is ego, greed, violence, outside also, you experience bad stuff. So if I ask you, how is India? You say India is bad. India is not bad. You are bad. We are bad. But if your inner Swaraj is marked by love and empathy and forgiveness, outer Swaraj also will be beautiful. So now India is beautiful. If I ask you, how is India? India is beautiful. India is not beautiful, but you are beautiful. That is what Mahatma Gandhi told. You should learn how to control yourself. We don't need government. We don't need bishop. We don't need pope. We don't need parish priest to control you. You are able to control yourself and cultivate positive gifts and denouncing the negative stuff. That is the basic thing what Mahatma Gandhi taught us. I hope you know how to cultivate inside. The second one is Swadeshi. Swadeshi means, look at that, service to immediate neighbor. You come here. Come here. You see, Mahatma Gandhi explanation of Swadeshi we have misunderstood and we have misinterpreted. Look at here. Look at here. This is Swadeshi symbol. Who is Swadeshi? My neighbor. See? It is known as neighborliness. You know, God said love of God, love of neighbor. Love of neighbor includes not only humans, also animals and plants, and also non-living, living and non-living. It's not necessarily human. See here, Mahatma Gandhi told, her neighbor is friend, back, right, left, above, bottom. That's all. This is my neighborhood. That is my neighbors. In front, there may be a dying dog. That's not human. Go and help that dog to heal. On your right hand side, there may be human, a poor man, a beggar. Help that man. On your left hand side, may be a polluted pond. You go and clean the pond. On your head, atmosphere, so much of carbon dioxide, poisonous gases, ozone depletion. Go and clean it up. Reduce your carbon intake. At your feet, bottom, your neighbor is soil. Clean up the soil. Don't put chemicals. Don't poison it. See how beautiful Mahatma Gandhi. He taught in 1905. He wrote the book called Swadeshi. So he told, you worry about only your immediate neighbor. The other one, don't worry about at all. Let her worry about. This is another. Come here. This is a neighbor. She worries about this one. Okay? She worries about this one and that one. Next. That is how everybody takes care of everyone. In today's modern language, it is interpreted, act locally, think. You never heard of it? Act locally, think globally. Come on, all of you say, act locally, think globally. That is called the Swadeshi principle. At last, Mahatma Gandhi, Sarvodaya, welfare of all. That is upliftment of all. I told you, if there is no soil, water, air, if all of them disappear, you are going to disappear. If we disappear, they don't disappear. You understand that? So our well-being depends on other parts of the world. Our living parts depend on non-living parts. That is called Sarvodaya. If all flourish, we flourish. If all destroy, we will be also destroyed. So you can Google later on, and you can watch. Also, I've given talks on YouTube. In YouTube, you type my name, Rai Bhagasi, type Swaraj. You will get 10-15 minutes talk. My talks are there. Also, Swadeshi, Swaraj, Sarvodaya, all type my name and type the subject you want, and you will get the speeches in Tamil, also in English, in YouTube. You can educate yourself afterwards. So we'll take a break.